Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tip. My name is Julian, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about players that you could potentially drop off your team for this week, week 3 of the fantasy hockey season. Before we get started, guys, please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Would really appreciate your support, guys. So in this video, guys, I'm going to talk about players that I did not talk about in my last drops video. That way it's new and fresh content for you guys. If you want to watch the last drops video, I'll link to it right up there. And those players are definitely still guys who are viable for dropping. I just didn't want to list the same guys again. So definitely check out that video if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's jump right into the content. So we're going to start off with forwards, and first on the list is Jamie Benn of the Dallas Stars. Now, I'm not dropping Ben in all leagues, but he's owned in 79% of leagues, which I think is way too much. Dallas just recently scrambled their lines in a very strange way. Luke Glendening is now playing on the top line with Sege and Kiviranta. Is that even the top line? Because Pavelski's playing with Faksa and Raffle, and Ben's playing with Gurianov and Kiro. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It just seems like the lines in Dallas were like randomized. It just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. So right now, Jamie Benn skating 4th line-ish time and second power play. I'm not super crazy about that deployment. Again, obviously, if you're in a deeper league, I'm obviously going to hold on to Jamie Benn. He's too talented to really drop. But if I'm in a shallower, like 10, 12 team league, I might consider dropping Jamie Benn just because he's not doing a whole lot right now and his deployment is not great. Next is Mike Hoffman, currently skating on a line with Suzuki and Gallagher with the Habs, and that's arguably the best line on the Habs, but the Habs are not doing anything at all so far to start the season. I'm just not a big fan of really anyone on this Habs team right now, so Hoffman for me is a pretty easy drop at the moment. Next is my Manscaped must trim of the video, Sean Monahan. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code FANTASYTIP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off, guys, with free shipping at manscaped.com. So do me a favor, guys, and use the code word FANTASYTIPS at checkout. Unlock your confidence, guys, and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Now, Sean Monahan, to me, is a super easy drop in basically every league. The dude is playing on the 4th line right now. He's centering that 4th line. He's still getting top power play time, but the dude's just not producing, and he's been bad for a couple of years now. Doesn't look like he's going to get any better this year. Very easy drop for me. The next guy I would consider dropping is Brock Nelson and basically every other low ownership New York Islanders. These guys include Wallstrom, Palmieri, Beauvillier, Bailey, and Parise. The reason for that is the Islanders only play on Saturday this week, and so you're not really getting any value out of these guys, so it's very hard to hold them in your lineup. The only guy that I would probably hold on to who's low owned is Noah Dobson. If you're in a league where defensemen who actually produce are hard to find, because Dobson is getting that top power play time, and I think he should be owned in a lot more leagues that he is owned in. He's someone that I would consider holding on to if defensemen are hard to find in your league. Moving on to some defensemen now, and first on my list is Vince Dunn of the Seattle Kraken, 57% owned. And I was kind of high on Vince Dunn this offseason, but there was kind of an asterisk next to that. I was like, if Vince Dunn is given that top power play time in Seattle, he could have a really great season. Well, Seattle, they didn't give him top power play time. I don't know why, but you're giving it to Giordano, which I mean is fine. He's your captain, but I feel like Vince Dunn could be better utilized by getting that top power play time. It's fine, but right now I'm done with Dunn. He still has a tiny bit of value being on the second power play, but he's definitely a drop in shallower leagues. If there's better defensemen out there, you can drop them. Next is Ryan Pulock of the New York Islanders, and he's more of a drop for me in like points-based leagues because he's not going to get a lot of points this year. He's a guy who will get peripherals. He's going to hit a little bit. He's going to block a little bit. He's going to shoot a little bit, but he's not someone that I expect to get a lot of points this year. So if that's what you're looking for, look somewhere else. And also the Islanders have a bad schedule this week, so it's another reason to drop him. Again, though, if you're in a league that you need those peripherals, you can definitely hold on to Pulock, although it might be hard to do so this week with the Islanders only playing one game. Next is Bowen Byram of the Colorado Avalanche, and right now he's 44% owned, which seems a little high. He had a couple of really good games to start the year, which made his ownership percentage really skyrocket, but I don't think his value is going to be that high this year. Right now, he's not getting any power play time, so the points, they're going to come every now and then, but the opportunity to get points is not really there because he's not getting any power play time. And the thing is, Devon Toews is going to come back from injury soon, so his opportunities may be even more limited once that happens because Devon Toews is going to take up some ice time. Don't hate Bowen Byram, but 44% owned is definitely a little bit high. Next, I have Jacob Slavin, and he's getting big minutes, but he's not getting any power play time, so I don't trust him to consistently score points. His peripherals have not been there this year. Yeah, he's managed a couple of points so far, but I think those were more of a fluke. I don't expect him to consistently score points, so I'm not really big on him right now. And last, I have Rasmus Ristolainen, owned in 41% of leagues. Rasmus Ristolainen is someone that I would only own if I need him to get me some hits. So if you're in a point-based league that counts hits and gives you a decent amount of value for them, that's fine. Ristolainen is someone that you could definitely have on your team. If you're in a categories league and you desperately need hits, he's someone that I could also consider for your team. In any other type of league, I'm not super high on Rasmus Ristolainen. He's not going to get a lot of points, and therefore shouldn't be rostered. Jumping into some goalies now, and I got 3 goalies on my list this week. First is Jake Allen of the Montreal Canadiens, 49% owned, and he's not a must drop by any means. Like, I'm not dropping Allen in leagues where there's no other decent starting goaltenders out there, right? If he's one of your goalies and you need your goalie starts and there's no other goalies that you could be grabbing, obviously I'm not dropping Jake Allen, right? In leagues, though, that there's a couple other goalies that might be out there, maybe an Aiden Hill, maybe a Braden Holtby, I'd rather those guys right now than Jake Allen for sure. Next is Anton Khudobin of the Dallas Stars, and it seems like they're really liking Braden Holtby right now, and he's getting the vast majority of the starts. It looks like Khudobin may just be relegated to those back-to-back games. At least that's the way it's looking right now. You never know at Dallas. They're so weird with their goalie usage, but right now, not looking great for Anton Khudobin. If you own Khudobin, I would definitely grab Holtby right now if he's still available. And next is Kaapo Kähkönen of the Minnesota Wild, and I warned you guys before the season started. Listen, Minnesota loves Talbot. They're going to start Talbot a lot this year. Kähkönen is not going to get a lot of starts this year, and so far, he has not. He has not gotten anything as of this recording. He should start on Sunday when this video comes out, but that's a back-to-back game, and I don't expect him to get much more than that. He definitely should not be owned in almost 30% of leagues. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. Please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.